thanks for joining me today. Welcome to my Start Yoga With Me series. My name is Gemma. Today we're going to be looking at really the fundamentals of moving from a cat and cow into a downward facing dog. So this is really just a primary basic posture, and we're really going to be focusing specifically on the hand placement. Okay, so when we come into tabletop, let's move into tabletop first. So in tabletop position, we want to have our knees tracking directly underneath our hips, and we want our wrists to be underneath our shoulders. And what we're really looking for is for your hands, your fingertips to be spread really wide, and you want your index finger knuckles, so that's this part of your hand right here, to be pressing into the mat. Take a look at your hands and make sure that the space between your index and your middle finger is pointing directly forwards. You may want to rotate a little bit. Maybe you want your index finger more pointing forwards, maybe the middle finger, but you definitely don't want your hands rotating inwards, and you don't want them rotating outwards, because what happens is that this will affect our elbows. Whenever we come down to the ground in yoga, in either what we call chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, which I will go over in another video, we don't want our elbows to come out to the side. When this happens, we cause pain in our wrists, we could cause injury, and we also lose the strength in our shoulders. So what we really want is for our elbows to be hugging, grazing the midline, and as we do this, the fundamentals of doing this is having our correct hand placement right from the very beginning of our practice. Beautiful, so find your way into your tabletop. Wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips. Plant your hands down, hands are shoulder width distance apart, tuck under your toes. And as you inhale, begin to arch your back, allow your shoulder blades to draw down, and your chest begins to open, the crown of your head lengthens, lifts towards the sky. And on an exhale breath, you'll untuck your toes, begin to drop your tailbone down, draw your navel inwards and round your spine. Notice your hands stay where they are. Inhale breath as you tuck your toes under. Exhale breath as you untuck your toes and round. Imagine that you're actually actively pushing the ground away to open the back of your heart. Tuck your toes, inhale to arch. Untuck your toes, exhale to round. Beautiful. Tucking your toes under now. And we'll take an inhale breath as we arch our spine. And this time as you exhale, we're going to plant our hands firmly into the ground. Index finger knuckle is down, grip the mat with your finger pads. Allow your hips to travel back, coming into a downward facing dog. Maybe you want to make your dog a little bit longer, that's absolutely fine. Make sure that your hands are in the correct position. Index finger knuckle firmly plants into the earth, so you take away any pressure from the outer edge of your wrist. And notice how your knees might want to be bent. So we don't want to hang out in downward facing dog like this. What we want is for our sitting bones to lift towards the sky. Our hands press down into the earth, our shoulder blades firm onto our back as we press our chest towards our knees. Your heels can be lifted, your knees can be bent, and in time you can begin to straighten your legs. Arms are straight, legs are straight, but notice how even my heels still don't touch the earth, and that's fine. So you want to find really a posture that works for you here. Keep firming your shoulder blades onto your back as you wrap your biceps around. Continue to breathe in and out of your nose. Maybe in time you begin to squeeze your legs straight. Maybe that doesn't happen for you today. The purpose of downward facing dog in yoga is one, a resting position. We take this posture between vinyasas. And two, because it helps us to lengthen and re-establish the natural curves of our spine. So we want to lengthen our spine long, and as we do that, we send our sitting bones high and we allow our spine to lengthen. So you don't want to bring your legs straight because if that compromises the lengthening in your spine. So just know that you can always have a bend in your knees, you can always lift your heels high. Focus on finding a long spine in your downward dog. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.